Hi, I'm Laura Bartow from Studio One Stampers, and I want to tell you about this really fun collection of 10 cards that I've designed for you. It's 10 cards to connect through all the things that are happening coming up this spring. We've got Father's Days and birthdays and friendship and all kinds of things. So it's a great collection. And all of these products are going to be available for a short time. They're all products from our current catalog. And many of the things here will only be available till June 2nd or while supplies last. So these are things that you're going to want to grab when you see all the great tips and tricks that we're going to do with them. So they're being retired from this catalog and also from our Handmade for You catalog. This has so many great things that I can't wait to show you how to use. And then again, coming up on June 3rd will be our brand new catalog. And if you're like me and you have a really long wish list of things that you might want to get, then you need to think about being part of my team, Studio One Stampers. Join Stampin' Up! Anyway, let's get together. I'm going to show you lots of tips and tricks on how to make these cards. I won't be putting together any fully assembled cards, just showing you some behind the scenes things. So let's get started. Well, here's the very first card I want to show you in this collection. But I have to tell you that one of my friends told me that I forget to tell you that you can buy all these things from my website at studio1stampers.com. So if there's anything here that you just can't live without, please be sure to visit my website. This is from the Clubhouse suite, and you can see all these great pieces here. This is what it looks like in the catalog. Beautiful, beautiful spread. It's got the twine and it's got an embossing folder. Fortunately, the embossing folder is being retained, so that's a great thing. But let me show you a couple of other things about this that go together. Here is all this beautiful designer paper. And besides the dies working with the stamps, they also work around the designer paper. So you can see there's different things that you can cut out with the different shapes from the designer paper. So that makes it even more useful. And another thing that I really like, besides having all this coordination with twine and everything, is that these little pieces are going to be a go-to for me because they're going to work on all these greetings that I have from the Itty Bitty Greeting Set. So, so versatile, so many ways to use that. So that's another great trick of things that you can use with that. I want to show you a couple of other designs besides the one that we're going to work on today. This one is from my friend Laura Milligan, and she did a great thing in blues. And here's one that I had done in a previous class, so that's kind of fun using the die cuts and a little sponge sky. Here's another one, and this one is from Kathy. And so it's got the embossing folder here, a little different one. That's the coastal weave. And then here's another one, and this one is done by Megan Hurst. And so she's got a little bit of this twine back here opened up, and the golf club, and just a lot of great color combinations. So those are some fun things. So a couple of things I just want to tell you about this. I don't know if you can see the texture, but that comes from one of the dies, a textured golf club. I've used this one piece of paper. I don't know if you can see it here. I guess I've got it upside down, but I'll pull that out. It's got all these cute little golf carts, so it almost looks like a little ribbon going across that. So that's another great way to use the designer paper. And then you can see I've actually cut this one stamp out and overlaid it to give you a little something to pop up. So that's our first card. I'm going to put these things away, and then we'll move on to my second card. All right. Oh, so many good things in this set. I'm going to scoop up this designer paper. Oh, don't you just love, love, love all these great patterns? So masculine and so much fun. All right. So now what I want to do is actually do a little stamping. This was a card that I just could not resist. It's a whole group of cows sitting and dreaming in the field. And I wanted to say something about our pandemic that we're going on. So I keep hearing about herd immunity as a possibility for us to get through this. So I just came up with is totally dreaming about or totally hoping for herd immunity. And I just went and typed that up on my computer to add some little details for you there. And so when you order the kit, I will cut these up and you'll get those when you order your kit for your card. But I wanted to show you how I went about putting this little herd together. So what I did first is I started out with my piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I positioned my cows on a big block so that they would always be positioned the same way. So I'm going to go ahead and ink them up with Memento ink, my favorite go-to black ink. And I'm just going to position them right down here toward the bottom. Oh, perfect. Okay, so I've got them there. Give them a nice push. It's a big block. Looks great. So now I want to add this other cow, but I want this cow to be behind these guys. So I've gone ahead and I've made masks. So I cut out on just scratch paper these different shapes, and to make them sticky, I went and I put a couple of dots of this Tombow glue, but I let it dry first, so it's sticky, but it's not going to stick forever because that's part of it being repositionable. So that one's going to go there, and this one is going to go right here. And you can see I've used these before, that's why they already have some color on them. And then I'm going to come in and put my standing cow in. So here's my standing cow, and because I've masked those out, this will have this cow stand behind the others. So there we go, there's my standing cow, and if I pull these up, you can see that this one is behind that one. All right, so the other thing I want to add in is I want to add in this little dream bubble, and I think we're all dreaming of happiness and love and all those kinds of things, so I'll put that in as well. So now it's time for me to add my sky in, and so to do that I've also made a mask for the one that I just put in, so I'll put that down as well. I've cut that out, and for my little dream bubble, so there's my little dream bubble. Done that. Okay, so everything's masked off, so the only thing that will happen now is I can put in my grass and I can put in my sky. So I'm just going to turn it this way so I can work, and I'm just going to make sure that I go up and down because I don't want to grab any of the edges of my mask. I could, if I pull it, went sideways. So I've got myself some little grass going on there, super simple, and then I'll turn it around, and here I'll put in my sky. So here we go, just putting in my sky, and I am using Pacific Point for this. That's one of my favorite sky colors, and I can just kind of move around as I want, go back, and I am kind of dabbing to kind of give that look of movement, look of the sky happening, whatever. So there we go, and then as I pull these up, you'll see that I have all my cows. And there we go. There's 1 and 2 and 3, and there's my little thought bubble. So I have all of those ready to go. They look like they're standing in a field, and as you can see, I can bring this back, and I'll just go ahead and now I can color them, and they have my little banner. So that's a great way to put together a collection of stamps. So I hope you enjoy that one. I'm going to put this one away, and then I'm going to show you my next one. My next one is a really fun one that has been in my collection for quite a while, and have really enjoyed using it. And I have to say, I almost forgot about it, and then sort of feel like I rediscovered it. And that is this sweet, sweet hello card. This is such a pretty floral, and if anybody knows me well, they'll know that I love flowers. So this is what the embossing folder looks like, and here's the actual embossing folder, and this is a floral, I forget what it's called, but it's a floral folder. It's in our catalog. It's retiring, and this comes from Accented Blooms. And you can see that this shape here with either the hello or the thank you is cut out by our Taylor Tag Punch. And this is not retiring, so that's going to be good for a while yet. and I want to just tell you a little bit about what's going on in this card. I colored it mostly with the in colors from I guess right side up would be good, that are retiring, the 5 in colors, so I used some of those. And I also added in the Highland Heather and Granny Apple Green just to give me more accents in there. Another thing that I added here are these beautiful, beautiful glossy doilies. Those are also retiring, and the great thing about this card is I only needed to use half of a doily, because you can see I stuck that under there so that I only needed half, so that's great. And this beautiful Bermuda base striped ribbon, that is also retiring, but you can see how it just adds so much to the card and everything together for that. So just want to show you those details. So I hope that you love this accented blooms as much as I do. All right, I've got one more here to pull in to show you, and this is this thank you card. So here it is. It's super, super simple. And this thank you is just a die. This is the fastest thank you card. If you're in a position where you need to crank out a whole bunch of thank you cards all at once, wow, this is the perfect way to go. But I wanted to show you a couple of tricks about this card that you can do. So here is the die. This is what the die looks like. It's just one die. It's simple. It's inexpensive. And what I did is I wanted to show you a different coloration. So I put this piece together here, and that of course comes from this beautiful, beautiful Magnolia collection, Magnolia Lane Designer Series paper. It comes with, of course, 12 sheets, 12 patterns, 6 sheets, you get 12 of each. But we also have a collection where you can get a whole bunch of sheets with just these 2 patterns because they're on the other side. And if you're making a whole bunch of things that you need a lot of the same, this is a fabulous, fabulous collection to get 10 sheets of each of the 2 patterns. So don't forget about that as well. To go back to this card, what I did is I basically got my card put together, and I took this piece and I just sliced it off and flipped it over. So now I have a beautiful design. And then I wanted to show you something else that you can do with this. Right here I have 3 layers. I don't know if you can tell, but how thick that is. I've got 3 layers of this die already put together, and you can see how nice that is. It really stands up. And I can go ahead and glue on one more layer and just give that sense of tremendous depth to my card. So just one more fun thing that you can do with this thank you die.